Hey guys, I'm Dr. Mcfarland, and I wanted to do a series on the HX Stomp XL from line 6. And in this video, we're going to look at the front panel and see everything we can do with the unit. So let's dive right in. All right, so first of all, let's talk about the actual size and layout of the Stomp XL and why I think it's a great option for me specifically, and why you might want to invest in one as well. So in the past, I have had the HX Stomp, which is a 3-button option. So it's a little bit smaller. I feel like it's probably about this size right here. If you go from this edge to these buttons, and then they have the 3 encoder knobs and the 2 knobs right here. I really preferred the HX Effects layout, which is a little deeper than the Stomp XL, but it has the same number of buttons and options here, as in you have your ABCD, you have your bank up and down, you have a mode switch, and you have a tap tempo and a tuner switch. So first of all, let's look at the tap tempo and the tuner. Obviously, you have tap, which is you just tap it in. Then the LED blinks faster if you tap fast, or it blinks slow if you tap slow. So that's pretty straightforward. And if you hold the same switch, that goes into your tuner mode, which I'll go ahead and tune a little bit. We do have some options for fine and coarse and strobe. So whatever your preference is, you can choose between those. Now the mode switch is going to allow you to see different things on the screen. So we can either see our presets right there, or we can see our stomps that we have assigned to our switches. So whichever one that you want to see, you can easily do that. And there is a hold function where you can choose your input or your output. See that? There's your main output. We can exit. And then we can choose our input. So here's your gate and your threshold, decay, your page options there, your minimum and your maximum values, and so forth. So for the most part, I just switch between the preset mode and the stomp mode. I don't really use the hold function on that hardly ever. So if we are in preset mode, we can hold the 2 buttons, and this gets us between presets and snaps and bank. So that lets you choose your kind of workflow that you want to do. If you're already in a preset, let's say I want to go into this preset here, and then I want to switch between maybe the next preset up, like so. Then you can just use these 2 buttons for that, but you can already choose your presets with these 4 buttons, so it didn't make a lot of sense for me to do it that way. You might want to be in snap mode, so you can go between the different snaps. You can see the number change up on the top right-hand corner of your screen. Then you can still get between your different presets there. And you notice I keep having to cancel, because if you touch a switch for a certain amount of time, especially if it's 2 switches, or if you go like that, then it says swap up and down. It's like, no, I don't want to swap. Okay. So that's what your different views are right there. I usually just keep it in bank mode, but the more I use it, I might want to use these 2 switches to change between snapshots and just have these be my presets. Then I can always go into stomp mode from any of those presets. So all pretty easy stuff. Okay. So we are on a new preset here, and I will go ahead and go in there. And right now we have a thing called view, where we can actually see what our signal flow looks like, which if you're actually performing, it's not that important to see the signal flow. So you may want to stay in this kind of mode when you're actually in performance mode. But as you're building a preset, then it is good to see the signal flow. You can press Action to either copy a block or paste a block. Right now we don't have any. You can use the encoder knob on the top to go between your different slots. And there are 8 different slots in a preset, okay? Not including the main input and also the main output. Okay, now the knob on the bottom allows you to actually switch between different types of blocks that you have. So if I just keep scrolling, you can see I'm in my boost block, but I can go back. I can hit none. Okay, so the first thing you might want to do is actually push on a block, and that sends you into your category section to where you can actually choose between distortion, dynamics, EQs, modulations, delays, reverbs, pitch synth, filter wall, amp cab, amp, preamp cab, IR, volume pan, send return, looper, and oh my goodness, that's a lot. Okay, so first thing you might want to do in any preset is add an amp and a cab. Now, I'll have other videos in this series where I go deeper into building presets, but for now, just to get you up and running, let's go for amp and cab. Yes, I'm doing guitar, and I want to go with a very tried and true staple of mine, and that's just a US Princess. So this is going to be a Fender Princeton amp, and once you're in a block here, the page left and right allows you to go between the different parameters. So you can see that you can quickly and easily go between all your amp settings and your cab settings just by paging over. Okay, I'm not going to do tons of playing here in this video, but just for example, this is what the US Princess sounds like. Okay, not too bad. Just for my own personal taste and a quick change, I will turn the master down. Even though this is a non-master amp, the louder you have your master, the more power amp distortion you will have. And I will turn my channel volume all the way up. So that allows me to have a nice clean tone with maximum volume there. And if I really wanted to, I could go all the way over to my main output and boost a level. And you see I keep hitting other buttons. So I will go back and just boost it up a little bit. Okay, so now we can go back to view. So now to get out of that, we just use the top encoder. And let's go add a reverb. Okay, so you can see so far that the top encoder switches between your different positions within the signal flow. Then the bottom encoder will choose which type or category that you want. So I will go ahead and choose the last slot, push the bottom encoder, go down to reverb, and let's just go with a nice legacy verb, and we'll use a hall. Okay, once again, we can use our page left and right to change our decay, change our mix, our high cuts. Always want to put trails on. That's my preference. So that way when you bypass the effect, you can continue to hear the delay and reverbs trailing off. So now we can use the top encoder once again, and then use the bottom encoder to push, go down and choose delay, and we'll use a legacy delay. And there are multiple reasons why I still use a lot of the legacy effects, mainly because the Stomp XL is limited in DSP, very similar to how you have 2 cores on the Helix floor. Well, the Stomp XL and the Stomp only has 1 core, and the more stuff you want to add to a preset, you start to become limited on what you can actually choose. So for now, I'll just use a nice digital delay. And what's really cool now is if you push on the time encoder, that changes between milliseconds and subdivisions on your delay times. So I will keep it at a quarter note, kind of keep the feedback down. I keep hitting that tap button, and it's fine, folks. Okay, turn the mix down a little bit. And this is when I actually want to tap in my tempo. Okay, it is a sound. You can choose to change it however you want. Okay, now going back one slot, let's go to modulation. And we will go to legacy once again, and we'll choose the good old opto tremolo. Okay, now we do have a depth and we do have a mix. So you can have the mix all the way up and the depth down. I did it again. So this is my only gripe about the XL is my hand keeps wanting to hit that tap tempo switch and the screen changes and, you know, whatever. So you can either have the depth down and the mix up, or the depth up and the mix down. Whichever way you want, it doesn't matter. Okay, not bad. Once again, if you're already on a block, you can push on that block and it'll bypass it. And then I can go over here and push and bypass, go over here, push and bypass, or I can just turn them on, whatever I want, okay? But I'll go ahead and leave the tremolo and the delay off. Let's go before the amp in the cab, and we'll add in a nice overdrive. Now notice that I chose the wrong category. I went to dynamics instead of distortion. But all I have to do is just hit the back page button, and then you can scroll back up to distortion, push, mono. And here lately, I've really liked the prize drive, which is the Nobles ODR, and I like it better than Tube Screamer. I'm sorry, it's just the way it is. Okay, from here we can bypass it. I want to turn down the drive, bring up the level, turn down the spectrum. We can work with our bass cut and also mess with our voltage. The voltage is a little subtle, but it will adjust or affect your headroom on the pedal. All right, so we got that going on, and that works real for me. And then we can bypass that one. Let's say we want to add in, now, I did it again. We want to add in our dynamics. Let's go to legacy, and let's try the tube comp, which is your LA2A style compressor. The floor so far is the only one of the Line 6 devices that actually shows the gain reduction. On this, you just have to use your ear, so. Okay, not too bad. That has been on the bridge pickup. Here's the neck pickup real fast. And this is my Kiesel Delos in beautiful ash body, aqua burst, gold hardware. Yes, I like it. So anyway, back to bridge. And if we really want to get crazy, we can go and add maybe a wall pedal. Let's do mono. We'll do a UK wall just for fun. Now, I don't have an expression pedal hooked up at the moment, but I do have a L6 emission engineering expression pedal that would work really well with this. I just don't have it hooked up at the moment. So I will not turn this on, but I will show how to hook up a wall pedal or expression pedal in a later video in this Stomp XL series and show you how to do all that. So now that we've kind of filled up a few blocks here, all but one of them, we filled up 7 blocks. And that's really fine for me. So now we can actually start going and assigning these to a switch. Let me show you how easy this is. So let's go over to our tube comp. We'll just simply touch a switch. We'll say, okay, so now you can see that's yellow and it's been assigned. We can also go over to our prize drive, and I want this on the bottom left. Yes, I want that there. Okay, we can turn that on and off now. Pretty cool. Let's go to our opto tremolo, and let's add that to the middle top switch. And then let's go over to our delay. We'll add that to the bottom middle, and then to our reverb. We'll do a top right. I might want to leave a switch open to control something else or something. So I'm just not sure at the moment. But what we can do now is hit the view and action. And we can save this preset. So how we save something on the Stomp XL without using HX Edit, which I know is a lot easier, but it's really not that hard to save and name something on the unit itself. So you can see that we have our cursor here. We can go between different letters. And then the bottom cursor will actually change the preset that you're on, which I'm just going to leave it on 30D new preset. And then we can actually use our middle encoder down here to change the type. So I'm going to change to D, middle cursor over. You can now push to go between capital, lowercase, a number, or nothing. Okay, so I'll keep it on uppercase. Keep forgetting. And we'll go up to O. Let's go over. Uppercase, C. And we'll just call it dock preset. Okay. And we have save. So now we have 30D. So now we have location number 30D called dock preset. And we have things assigned. And I could easily show up to a jam session, a gig, a recording session, and say, all right, I got my amp, I got my prize drive, my compressor, my tremolo, my delay, and my reverb. So if you have any questions at this point, feel free to leave those in the comment section below. And if you're new to the channel and you want to learn more about the Stomp XL and all other digital maulers, then be sure to subscribe down below and click the bell. And in the meantime, I am Dr. Mcfarland. I will see you in the next video. Keep rocking.